And we begin with a developing story this morning out of Dallas.
That's where a patient with the first Ebola case in the U.S. is in isolation.
Yeah, this is what we know right now. The patient is a 19-year-old man who flew from Liberia to the U.S. last month. He developed the symptoms after coming home. Health officials are trying to keep the public calm as they track down anyone else who may have been exposed. The White House released this reminder yesterday, stating you cannot get Ebola through air, water, or food. The deadly virus can only be spread from blood or bodily fluid.
As the worst outbreak of Ebola in history continues to devastate West Africa, the Red Cross is scaling up efforts to combat the deadly virus.
And ABC 22's Amber Watson is at the American Red Cross in downtown Dayton this morning. She caught up with a volunteer to tell us what they're doing to help with this fight. Amber.
Good morning. And the Red Cross just recently opened a treatment center in the hardest hit part of West Africa for those who recently caught Ebola. And I spoke to a volunteer who just came back from a special mission in Sierra Leone. And John Wright is a Red Cross volunteer out of Darke County and was stationed with a small team at a low-risk remote area. Now, he's an IT specialist and helped with the technology aspect to help build the communications in that area. And so far, this disease has killed more than 3,000 people in West Africa. And although we now have our first case of Ebola here in the U.S., Wright says he doesn't see it becoming an epidemic like in West Africa.
We don't have the communications problem that you have in the remote areas of the world. So if it would suddenly start to evolve here to where we needed to do things like avoid any physical contact or do social separation, we can accomplish that here, but that's not easy to be done in the backward parts of the world.
And Wright was stationed in Sierra Leone for about a month to set up the communication center. And the Global Red Cross Network is currently training volunteers to help with the new clinic. Now, in our area, there's not much direct action. The American Red Cross says at this point, they mostly need monetary donations to help with the relief efforts there. And coming up in the next half hour, I'll tell you what U.S. Senator Rob Portman is now calling the CDC to do to help prevent the spread of this disease here in the U.S. For now, reporting live in Dayton, Amber Watson, ABC 22 News.